So writers, we've been talking about our personal narratives and working on writing those and generating ideas for what we want to write about. So I was thinking, I'm very close to my mom and she's actually my best friend. We talk every day. I see her as often as I can possibly see her. And I was thinking about one time when she helped me when I was in the 3rd grade and I needed so much help with math and I was struggling with multiplication tables, and I remember she would sit with me and I would work at the problems and she would check them, and then she would check them with the calculator. And I remember I had a hard time until, she started asking more questions and she realized that I needed glasses. And the reason why I struggled is because I didn't, and I wasn't able to see the board. And so I remember she took me to the doctor so I could get some glasses. So today we're going to be generating ideas for our personal narrative writers, and I want you to think about some of those people that matter to you, people that are important to you, people that have made a difference in your life maybe. And I want you to think about how we can add those people to our personal narrative. And I want you to think of those small events that you've lived with that person or that you've experienced with that person that make them so special. So let me show you what I mean. So I thought about some of the events that, my mom and I have shared. And I'm going to use these sentence starters to kind of help me narrow down the ideas of the things that make my mom special, or those little moments that I've lived with her. And I have this sentence starter. The time, and it could be anybody you pick, but I have my mom. And I'm thinking about the time my mom and I fell asleep on the trampoline. I remember we used to jump and jump, especially on nice summer nights, and we'd jump so much that we'd fall asleep on the trampoline, and we'd get up the next morning early to make sure that we made it back inside before the neighbors saw us. And I'm also thinking about another moment that I've spent with my mom, and I remember one day I woke up, and when I woke up I was going to put my feet on the ground, and when I looked at the floor I saw the biggest Jerusalem beetle in my life. If you've never seen these bugs, they are horrible. And I remember that day I screamed and I screamed and I screamed till my mom showed up and she killed that Jerusalem bug for me. And I also think about other things that make my mom so special and so important to me, and it's those little moments that I cherish and that I always remember. And I remember once when my mom and I built a tent using our sofas. And I remember how important and how special that moment was for me. So now, writers, I want you to think about those small moments that remind you of that special person, of that person who is important for you. And I want you to take a couple of minutes and I want you to come up with some of those things using these sentence starters. A time that you and that person maybe did something. Maybe a day, an event that happened one day. Maybe an occasion, one time that you and that person did something or went somewhere. Okay? So writers, now that you've seen me generate some of those ideas and annotate those small moments of that person who is so special and so important to me, I want you to take some time and I want you to try it for yourself. I want you to think of a person who is very important to you. And I want you to use the same sentence stems to think about some of those small moments, and I want you to generate and to write down those small moments that you've experienced with that person. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think of some ideas and just finish one of the sentence stems that I have for you so that you can have those ideas flowing. Okay, writers, so we've looked at how we can think about small moments and look at how we can add those to our personal narrative. So when you go back to your writing, I want you to read through your narrative and think of a place where you can add maybe one of those small moments and one of those experiences that you've lived with that person who is special to you. You can add it anywhere in your narrative, and when we come back and confer, we'll go through it. Off you go, writers.